各位觀眾大家好，歡迎收睇26分鐘見證實錄精華回顧。卑詩省嘅農業喺省內經濟之中扮演住重要嘅角色，同時亦都係確保省內食物供應鏈能夠保持穩定。不過去年嘅卑詩水災，當時唔單止導致道路中斷、省民受困當地等嘅情況，喺阿博斯福市更加有多個嘅農地被洪水淹沒，造成大量嘅農業經濟損失。而當地嘅農夫除咗要處理洪水破壞農作物嘅情況之外，又有啲乜嘢其他嘅困難要面對呢？省府已經宣布撥款幫助受影響嘅農夫重建農場。不過，該撥款能否幫助到農夫完全修復失地，而恢復嘅過程又需要幾長嘅時間呢？
舊年卑詩省內出現多次極端天氣現象，而喺去年底嘅水災更令本地農場嘅營運造成重大打擊。
At the worst of it, there were over 1,100 farms under evacuation order or alert, and 15,000 hectares of farmland impacted.
Nothing like this. We've had, droughts that we've been dealing with, and forest fires we've been dealing with, and the heat dome that we were dealing with, trying to grow vegetables in 45-degree heat. So we've been dealing with a lot of adversity with the weather. But this is on another level. This just shut everything down, destroyed lots of houses.
喺城市急速發展嘅情況之下，普羅大眾未必會投放太多關注喺農業上邊。不過本地農業究竟喺卑詩省扮演住乜嘢角色呢？
And I think if we've seen anything with this pandemic, I think it has highlighted the deep importance to keep food production local as much as we can, because supply chains can change, so many things can change. But the local farmers want to be here, they want to be growing food, and we need to support local farmers. I think local farmland is the most valuable resource that we have.
Yeah, it was just all a lake. It was just all underwater. There would have been little tops of these poking out. Little tops of the leaks would have been poking out, but other than that, it was just a lake as far as the eye could see.
Andrew Fogler 係卑詩省嘅一名菜農，佢同佢嘅媽媽共同打理呢一個位於阿博斯福佔地20英畝嘅蔬菜農場。
We've been operating since 2010, and we grow about 7 different kinds of vegetables. We do a lot of carrots and beets. And then we do corn and leeks and beans, and we do quite a few leeks.
由於京葱屬於冬天生長嘅植物，舊年水災嘅時候，喺農場上嘅京葱仲未嚟得切收割。呢一日 ，Andrew 就向我哋展示受到洪水淹沒嘅京葱。
We lost about 2.5 acres worth of crops, primarily leeks. As leeks are something that we harvest all winter long. We start harvesting in November and continue to harvest until April. Okay. Yeah, so these were what we were harvesting primarily. These were our leeks. And we're the primary organic leek grower in Western Canada, as far as I know. So these all got significantly damaged, but that was the crop we were growing with that leek there. And then you take off the roots, and then that's what we ship.
即使部分京葱並冇被洪水浸壞，但係 Andrew 仍然都唔能夠進行收割。
Well, this is a good one. That's a good one. That one managed to survive. A lot of them didn't. You can see. And we also told with contamination that we probably shouldn't be harvesting anything that actually got flooded, because the water here would have been like up to here on the plant.
除咗農作物嘅損失之外，Andrew 亦都有唔少耕種嘅消耗品喺水災嘅時候被浸壞。
Inventory that went underwater, like boxes, like packing boxes, and potting mix, and just a variety of things went underwater. Nothing huge, but a whole bunch of little things. Half of them were underwater.
I see.
But we need a lot more than this. We buy a lot more of this. But this is another example of something that
So this is not usable anymore?
Probably not, no. I wouldn't think so. But we haven't opened them up yet. It's one of those things.
喺今次水災入邊，對於唔少低陸平原嘅農夫嚟講，唔單止失去農作物同埋庫存，而作為佢哋揾食工具嘅耕種機器都受到破壞。 Andrew 表示自己喺洪水嚟到之前，盡量將機器移到高地，因此佢喺機器上就冇受到太大損失。
No, luckily most of the machinery could either have water on it because it's pieces of metal or plows, or the flood. On this property, the flood water only came up to about here, so it didn't get into the engine casing. The engines didn't get flooded. So a lot of people's tractors were just right underwater, and they're done. Yeah.
Andrew 表示，今次水災對佢造成大概15萬元嘅經濟損失。
No income for about 7-8 months, which means that all of our 2022 expenses are going to have to be financed. Are going to have to be through debt. So it's just going to be building up more debt to farm for another year, and that's scary.
省府喺2月初公布一項2億2800萬元嘅撥款，嚟幫助受水災影響嘅農夫。
The funding will cover expenses in 4 main areas that are not covered by existing government programs or private insurance. The first category is returning flood-impacted land and buildings to a safe environment for agricultural production. The second is the loss of perennial plants not raised for resale, like blueberry plants. Other categories include expenses relating to the repair of uninsurable farm infrastructure and costs for animal welfare.
呢一項撥款當中嘅項目，又有冇一項可以幫到 Andrew 嘅農場重新運作呢？
It will help us for some of the small stuff that was damaged at the front of the property, and for some of the cleanup we've done.
不過 Andrew 嘅主要損失係嚟自京葱嘅枯萎。京葱屬於雙年生嘅農作物，而省府嘅撥款就並未有涵蓋雙年生嘅作物。
They don't have biennials. They don't have a category where biennials fit. They have perennials and then annuals.
卑詩省農業、食物及漁業廳長布閒尼解釋，雙年生同埋單年生農作物雖然未有包含喺今次撥款項目之內，但係聯邦政府同埋省府有其他項目涵蓋佢哋嘅需要。
The $228 million of recovery funds was really established to directly assist growers with products that fell outside of programs that were already there, because we would not normally see a barn flooded 6 feet, and so a different type of program wasn't already established. But I believe we have probably got every category of farming covered off between the programs that we have in our ministry already, this program, and then the federal programs that we partner with.
Andrew 亦都曾經同省府聯絡，省府當時向 Andrew 表示，佢應該要為佢嘅蔬菜購買保險。不過卑詩省府提供嘅蔬菜保險就並冇包含京葱。
You should be having crop insurance, but crop insurance doesn't cover. We lost 4 different species of vegetables, and 3 of them crop insurance is not offered in this province.
Andrew 隨後亦都被告知可以申請省府嘅農業持續發展補償計劃。如果農場嘅年度利潤下降30%，該計劃就會補償農夫。不過 Andrew 擔心自己係咪符合該計劃嘅資格。
For us, because our leeks go between 2 years, we harvest them November, December, and then January, February, March. Our loss is broken up between 2 years, which means we need to have a 30% loss in 1 year. But because it's broken up between 2 years, we might likely have a 25% loss both years, and therefore we won't, quite likely will not qualify for agri-stability. We'll wait and see. We're still crunching the final numbers from 2021, but that's our concern.
省農業、食物及漁業廳長布閒尼建議，未能夠符合任何補助計劃嘅農夫，可以再次主動聯絡省府，商討其他可行嘅辦法。
And then if we have overlooked something ourselves, and the federal government, while working with us, if both governments has overlooked some category, we're absolutely willing to revisit to see what we can do. So I don't think it's not a showstopper, as they say. we're still willing to be very flexible to make sure that people get support so that they can start farming again.
Andrew 明白省府所提供嘅多項計劃係有意協助受影響農夫重新營運，不過佢覺得自己不幸咁同各個補助計劃擦身而過。喺呢個時刻 ，Andrew 嘅感受又係點樣嘅呢？
I don't mind saying that I feel like I've been dealing with some depression over this winter, and I've been talking to some of the other farmers about that, just trying to be open about it. You know, it being on top of, just on top of, you know, everybody's been dealing with a lot the last couple of years. And then in agriculture, dealing with just, I don't think we had one drop of rain in July. And in June it was 43 degrees, so just seeing it pile on top.
Andrew 亦都坦言，農場未來嘅營運充滿未知數。
Evacuated and not knowing what your future is going to be. Yeah, just you build these dreams out, and you hope that your kids are going to be doing it one day, and you know you hope that it's going to be something that's going to be a multi-generational thing, and then not really sure if this what the future is going to look like, and if the future is something that is with a monumental effort to get there.
So how long are you gonna expect the whole recovery process gonna be?
For us, it probably quite easily could be 2 years, I think. You know, this year we'll be trying to get halfway back maybe to where we were. Hopefully by the end of 2022, 2023. Just not in the physical stuff, but just trying to getting back. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's hard to say. And
除咗極端天氣等嘅天災會影響到省內嘅農業狀況啊，目前有唔少嘅農地咧都被收購開發。究竟喺城市開發以及農地保留之間點樣取得平衡呢？我哋下一節翻嚟再睇。歡迎翻嚟節目時間。大溫地區嘅人口不斷增加，咁對於土地嘅需求咧就隨之上升。咁農地就會成為咗部分發展商收購開發嘅對象。而喺列治文就有一個南會農場被發展商收購，用作為建設工業倉庫。不過農場上嘅藍莓樹咧就剩低落嚟無人問津。咁究竟呢一批藍莓樹最終會點樣被處理呢？
呢塊位於列治文5號路近 Steveston 高速公路嘅藍莓農場，佔地71000尺。呢塊農地處於市府規劃嘅工業用途地段入邊，因此有開發商買入呢塊農地，打算改作商業用途。
這塊地呢，當初主要是用作開發，因為當初呢看到了這塊地的 OCP 已經變成了 light industrial， 所以呢，其中有一位owner 呢也是做地產相關的，所以呢，他就買了這個和另外一個人合夥買了一塊這個地，然後呢就開始向政府申請 rezone。
張立志 Henry 任職嘅發展商喺2020年5月買下咗呢塊農地。
當時買的時候，它是一個運營了有幾十年的一塊藍莓農場，對，我覺得有600到700棵藍莓樹，對，中間穿插了幾棵蘋果樹、香蕉樹。
雖然農地成功收購，但藍莓農場上邊700幾棵果樹又應該要點樣處理呢？ Henry 表示，其實由開發嘅角度出發，如果要處理呢啲果樹，難度其實並唔大。
因為我們買的就是農地嘛，對，因為他當初賣的也是以農地的形式賣的，當初的宗令還是在 AG1， 對 agricultural land 那邊，我們也是因為這個它是一塊生地買的，所以我們知道當初要處理這些樹，對，我們當初覺得就可能不會那麼麻煩，如果說你要是做地基的話，都挖掉。也不會很麻煩，但只是浪費而已。
不過發展商嘅負責人唔希望將藍莓樹浪費，所以佢哋就想利用其他辦法處理藍莓同埋果樹。
當年的夏天呢，我們就直接就 找了几个朋友的孩子们做一个暑期的那种活动吧，就是小孩子们在那里卖，就是写上广告，然后那个写着有机的蓝莓，然后发广告，然后那个让朋友们、亲戚们，还有一些公众的人过来，就是因为他们之前的印度夫妇呢，也会有一些经常，他做了几十年了嘛，经常有一些老外朋友啊，或者是他们自己的印度人朋友啊，就是每年夏天都會嚟。
而當時有唔少附近嘅住戶得知農場將會被開發成其他用途嘅時候，都覺得有啲可惜。
然後當年我們也見到了很多之前的老客戶們，對他們都問，哎，這個農場是怎麼換人了？我們就把這個事情告訴他說，哦，他們就覺得很可惜，就再也吃不到這兒的藍莓了。我說，我們也會盡量的把這些藍莓樹轉到另外一個地方，對，轉到哪我們會另行通知。
於是 Henry 就開始諗辦法將呢啲藍莓樹轉讓出去。
因為試過2種方法吧，一個是就是開車轉，看到一些農場呢就去問一問，就是他們有沒有自己的農場有沒有空地想要這些藍莓樹。然後呢，與此同時呢，我也在發廣告，從 OneSky 啊、OnePeople 啊、Craigslist 啊，還有一些 Facebook 的一些東西一直在發。但是回饋我的人呢，一般都是零零散散的私人想要的1、2顆、2、3顆這種。
嘗試咗一段時間 ，Henry 都未能夠揾到農場接管呢批果樹，而零星幾個人嚟挖走果樹，亦都唔足以解決整個農場嘅藍莓樹數量。
就這樣就扔掉了，對他們來說覺得也何必呢？因為就算是我們只要找到了人，我們即使僱用機器的話，也沒有多少錢，那何不保留下來這些樹？對。
結果列治文市政府聯繫發展商表示，可以揾到機構去接收呢批藍莓樹。而呢個機構就係昆寧理工大學嘅農業學院。
And they actually emailed me saying, "Hey, we got wind of this this opportunity, and would you be able to help out?"
Daniel Garfinkel 係昆寧理工大學農業學院嘅項目經理，佢認為呢批藍莓樹有助農業學院項目發展，所以收到消息之後 ，Daniel 就立即聯繫發展商。
And then I started the conversations with the developers, the landowners, and seeing how we could partner and how we could engage in this mutually beneficial project.
对，就是他们说是 farmer school， 然后要这些个蓝莓树。我说那好啊，太好了。我一开始还以为他们要买，对，那我说那个对是要买吗？他说他们的经费呢只够 transfer， 对，然後那個說能不能贊助？我們可以啊，我們就聊了一下，對。
農業學院經理 Daniel 解釋，該學院屬於非牟利機構，加上營運經費係以自給自足嘅模式去取得，所以佢哋只能夠以有限嘅資源去完成接收藍莓樹呢個項目。
There was obviously the cost of excavating the blueberry plants out, and the development company was very generous, and they were going to pay for all of the excavation costs. And I said, I'm fine with bringing a lot of people there. I have access to a lot of people. People are very excited to support this. And so I said, okay, you bring the machinery, I'll bring the people.
而當日 Daniel 就聯同10幾名學生同埋職員去到該農地刮樹，而挖掘行動當日亦都吸引咗附近好多社區嘅居民嚟參與。
Luckily, the day that we were moving them, it was sunny all day long. Very cold, but sunny. So, when all these people show up, the excavator showed up when we were doing this. But we also sent this letter out to a lot of community members. So I would say throughout the day, there was over maybe about 150 people, random people, coming in to dig their own plants out. So, you had us with the excavator, a big team of people, pulling these plants out, moving them.
因为机器挖呢，挖出来之后呢，还是没有办法做到把根上的土都弄掉。它抖啊抖啊，还是会有一些粘土在上面。他们人力呢，就是把那些土都弄干净，因为这样的话，他们用 pickup truck 可以单次能拉更多的樹走。
而當日農業學院嘅人員就大約攞咗100幾棵藍莓樹，目前 Daniel 就將佢哋安置喺農業學院嘅農地上邊。
And they're kind of, in holding right now. They're in a technique called being heeled in, where we put the plants at a nice angle, put lots of compost and soil on top of the roots, and they can kind of stay there while we are ready to dig all the holes, because we have a lot of holes that we have to dig, and the trees are very heavy. So right now they are just waiting there, and I checked on them a couple days ago, and they're happy and healthy, alive, and they're very excited to be replanted into their permanent home.
Daniel 表示，由於獲得呢批藍莓樹嘅機會嚟得太突然，所以佢仍然思考點樣運用呢批果樹。而佢目前就有2個諗法。
Our priority is education. And so they're going to be on our educational farm. And one of my first thoughts right now is we have about a 2-acre mixed orchard on our farm. It's all organic. It has cherries, it has pears, it has plums and apples. And what we want to do is, over time we've lost a few trees and we have a few gaps in our orchard. So I think it'd be really beautiful and really beneficial to the orchard's health to plant rows of blueberries inside of it, putting a lot of fencing around our property. And instead of just a nice wood fence, what we're thinking about doing is, in addition to the fence, adding blueberry lines as well. So it can kind of be a fence, but also naturey and aesthetic. So, if people want to reach over the fence and grab a few, I'm okay with that.
雖然有部分藍莓樹得以轉移到另一批有心人手上，繼續獲得照顧，不過事實上呢次嘅買地計劃的確令區內少咗一個農場。Daniel 表示，了解開發土地用作城市發展係無可避免嘅事。
I understand the need to develop land. I understand the price of Richmond land and how it's much more valuable in a developer's eyes. I understand this. The other side of me thinks farmland is a finite resource and we need to protect it because it is valuable, it helps with climate change, it provides local food sources, provides jobs, and it looks beautiful too. So, with this project, I understand that it wasn't ideal, but if we can leverage this project and find and do some good in it, I love that.
而在於發展商嘅角度，佢哋都希望喺兩者之間取得平衡。
其實我也跟2位 owner 談過，就是說保護藍莓樹是一方面，就是說因為藍莓樹上面的藍莓比較直觀嘛。如果它只是一棵樹，不結任何的果實，沒有經濟作物，也沒有你平時吃那些東西的話，你可能沒有這麼直觀的感受。其實對於我來說，我覺得說是這些植物呢，不管是藍莓樹、草莓樹還是什麼樹，盡量的讓這個綠色留下來。
發展商經理 Henry 表示，呢塊農地嘅重新規劃申請仍然需要半年左右嘅時間嚟完成。目前喺該農地上邊仍然大概有200幾棵果樹。Henry 會繼續用唔同嘅方式嘗試將餘下嘅藍莓樹轉讓。相比起城市發展，現代人對農業嘅關注可能並冇咁重視，甚至有人會認為耕種係一門夕陽行業。不過農業學院經理 Daniel 表示，最近1-2年，農業學院嘅課程越嚟越受歡迎。
In 2021, with such a big increase of people, we decided to run 2 cohorts of 20 students. So we did 1 cohort and 20 on Saturday, 1 cohort and 20 on Sunday. And we had 40 students, a lot of people on the farm. We grew a lot of food, a lot of energy, a lot of people very passionate. And in that time, our wait list continued to grow.
Daniel 表示，報讀該課程嘅人嚟自唔同年齡層，有唔同嘅種植經驗。佢好高興可以見到有更多人願意學習農務知識。不過佢同時又指出，社會大眾普遍都低估咗農業嘅重要程度。
I think in British Columbia and the Fraser Valley, we have some of the best farmland in the entire world. And I think the value of that is not known. And the appreciation of how good our soil is not known. And soil, it's very hard to create. It takes millions of years to do 1 inch of soil. And, I think the quality of food that we can grow in our province in the lower mainland is outstanding.
Daniel 表示，疫情同埋供應鏈嘅問題更凸顯咗對省內農產業嘅需求，因此更加要支持本地農業。
To keep food production local as much as we can, because supply chains can change, so many things can change. But the local farmers want to be here, they want to be growing food, and we need to support local farmers. I think local farmland is the most valuable resource that we have.
好啦，今集嘅節目時間呢又差唔多啦。咁如果觀眾對我哋嘅節目有啲乜嘢意見嘅話，係好歡迎大家以電郵嘅方式同我哋聯絡㗎。我哋嘅電郵地址係mag26@fairchildtv.com。 如果觀眾想重溫翻今集嘅節目，亦都可以上到去我哋嘅網站3w.fairchildtv.com， 點擊節目重溫一欄就可以睇得翻㗎啦。下星期同樣時間再同大家見面，晚安。